Good morning, everybody. My laptop's a little off, son. How are y'all doing? Oh, let's go. What's happening out there in the world, everybody? Good morning. Whoa. There we go. Alrighty. What do we want to look at today? I was on the watch list earlier and there wasn't much happening. Kind of some ups and downs. Didn't see anything too spectacular. Let's see if anything changed. Excuse me. Oracle's got a little bit of a run, but they've got earnings coming up soon, so their options are very expensive. Google is falling after its little run, so that's interesting. Everything's kind of, I don't know, everything's kind of just iffy, looks like, this morning. things aren't too sure what it wants to do. I played Berk B to the 285 the other day on Friday, and sweet win. It was an awesome win, but it's just sat there. It sat there all the rest of the last few days. Hasn't done anything past 285 to 290 or 485 to 490 has been the peaks. That's pretty much been it. 50's coming up to meet it, so we'll see what's going to happen with Berk B. Now, they did just pile in like 6.8 billion into Google, into their AI R&D. So we'll see what's going to happen with that investment with Berkshire. I don't know. It's looking like it's going to want to push above the 490 mark today. Hard to tell. Hard to tell. SPY kind of just chilling. But yeah, so Earner Plus only, as I told you guys. Been wanting to do that for everybody who's purchased the Earner Plus level. I felt like it was only fair to do that, since that was kind of the reason why we're here in the Earner Plus educator side of things, is for the Earner Plus members. So we've been giving it to everybody for a long while, and time to swap over. So here we are. Now, only 4 people so far, looks like. Maybe 2 or 3. I'm not sure. I'm going to swap over here to the Discord and see if... kind of quiet out there. Not sure what's going on in the chats. Don't see anything specific. This is the Discord. For anyone that's not in the Discord, this is what it looks like. New to the stream, happy to be here. Briggs, welcome. Thank you for the first comment. Appreciate it. Sometimes people are scared to comment first. It's like a icebreaker. I appreciate it. Otherwise, it's just me sitting here talking to myself. Why's my shirt look all funky? Yeah, welcome. Thank you. What do you want to look at, since you're the first one to comment? Do you have a stock we could analyze? Do you have a question? Do you have... I'm just going to go drop this in my channel. Just because chat's pretty quiet. So yeah, I don't know. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Weird sounds outside. Let's see. Berkshire, like I said earlier, they piled in a whole bunch of money into Google. Taylor Homes as well, and I've been following that one since they've bought in, and it's been pretty boring. So Taylor Homes, I don't know, I guess to Berkshire it's more of a long-term play, or safety. I'm not sure. I wouldn't say real estate, housing, construction working would be a safe bet these days. I don't know. I mean, they're building around here like crazy, so... I was wondering, since it's my first time, what strategy would you like to look at? Wow, sorry, morning. My brain's waking up still. It's early here. It's only 8:43. What do you like to trade and how? Well, I teach the orb strategy. It's not my own strategy. It's a very well-known thing out there. There's lots of videos on orb, but we can get into some of that. It's an opening range breakout, and that's kind of why I'm here in the morning, is to to kind of capture some of the orb essence and show you guys how to do it. So yeah, we could go play with orb. I will show you how to do it. And what stocks, you said what do you like to trade and how? I mean, what do I like to trade? I trade whatever is out there that's working. If I follow between 5 to 7 stocks that I really like and that just feel good to me, and I focus on those. I learn how they move. I look at the research on them. I do news. You know, I'm always looking at those companies. So I follow those ones, but then there's a whole list. I mean, I've got a list of like 35, but you can't follow everything. It's too much. It's too busy. So I pretty much just follow a handful, and then go from there. Oh, we have Tesla to the downside. Let's look at that real quick. We can do orb on Tesla. I'm actually in a put. I've been in a put since yesterday. I held it overnight. So yeah, these big color boxes over here on the right is visual range profile. If you go to TradingView forecasting tab, it's going to be over here in the anchored volume profile, but it's technically a visual range profile. So you could do fixed, which is on the left side, and you can drag it over there. I prefer it to be on the right. It's dynamic, and it will move and change as the stock moves. So I will go ahead and you click the button, and you just post it in the chart. And if it's brand new to you, it'll be small. You have to wait for the stock to move around. But yeah, anchored volume profile is the pink and aqua colors on the right. Okay, so looks like the cues might be falling. I had a out the money call for Friday on cues in case they popped overnight, but I'm going to close that because it's not looking like it's going to do much. So, okay, so orb. What is orb? Opening range breakout. How you do it is very, very simple. It's basically 3 steps with a few sub-steps. You start with the 15-minute time chart or time frame. And then this white line here is part of the visual range profile. It's like the mid-range of the major volume. Actually, I should say that. What is this? So it's volume per price point. So it takes a section of pricing, like it depends on the stock. This one's like $4 a block here, and it will give you buyers and sellers based on that price range. Unlike volume down here, which gives you volume based on timing. So this is a timing volume, and this is a price action volume. So if you coordinate it together, you can see a nice like visual on how many buyers or sellers are in that range. All right, back to orb. 15-minute time slot, and then we go over to the first candle. So for me, it's 7:30. So first finished, completed whole candle is where you want it. So if it's still forming in the morning, you need to wait for it to finish. Horizontal ray, and you include the wicks. So for this case, it'd be like right there, roughly. And the bottom, top and bottom wicks. That's a little off. There we go. So top, bottom wick, mark it out. The colors don't matter. You can make them any color you want. We're gonna go with, I don't know. We'll go with yellow. I change them up every day. I do like keeping them the same. Come on now. Yellow. All right. So we've marked the first opening candle. We've marked it top and bottom wicks. Then we move to a 5-minute chart. On stocks that don't move a lot, you can use 3 minutes would be fine. Walmart, Nike, some of the lower volume stocks, you might want a 3-minute one. But 5 minutes for the high movers, Microsoft, Broadcom. Tesla, things like that. 5 minutes is plenty. So now, I know it's pretty busy. We can turn off Mo's. Here, I'll turn off the volumize, turn off Mo's bread recipe, just for visual. You'll want that on for sure, but just for a visual, we'll turn it off. And I'll shrink up the RSI up here. Okay, so we have the opening candle, we have the yellow channel now, we have a whole block, top and bottom. We're going to move to the lower side, that's where the trend is going. We would wait for a confirmation breakdown in this case, or technically it's a breakout, but we're breaking down. And so right here was a little bit of a fake out. It broke down, green candle, which would be confirming that it's breaking down below because this candle finished below the line. But the next one broke through the line. So that would cancel then this candle as not a confirmation candle. It broke back up. You could, at that moment, you could consider, ooh, are we going to actually rise back into this channel? So you'd be a little iffy. Start breaking back down again. This one, because it broke down just before the line finished, would be another confirming candle. And then this one start opening up, and boom, now here we go. So for orb, you wait for a confirmation above or below the line that does not touch inside the line, the wick, or the body of the candle. So this one would not have worked because the wick is inside the line. This one, the body is in, the body is in, the body is in, the wick is in, this giant wick, that's in. None of those would be confirming. None of this at all. This one and the green one would be confirming that it's below the line. Green, obviously, you wouldn't want to put puts on a green candle assuming the next one's going to be moving up, right? So you'd wait to make sure it was going to go down. And this one was green, so then you're like, oh, never mind, I'm going to wait then. So this was a little bit of a fake out, and it came back down. Now, at this point, we would go with a short inside this candle as that's forming, assuming that it stays down. So somewhere in this candle, you could have placed a short. Now, where do you put your stop loss? I like to put it somewhere near the orb line. I may not put it at the line. I might go a little bit beyond. And maybe like this candle's wick is right there. So I might target that and then see how much money that is. So 390 to 391. Less than $1. I can handle that. For Tesla, that's you don't want to go too close because those wicks are huge. Look at these wicks. These wicks are ginormous. So this stock will easily throw wicks $3 or $4 up or down just to hit your stop losses and then form the candle actually where your money is. So you can be careful with that one, and you can mess with it. There's no like rhyme or reason or rule you have to necessarily go with stop losses. It's what you think and feel. But go off the chart too. So like I'll target this wick here just beyond the orb because it's less than $1. It's not so bad. Expiration for the short. So orb is best for a 0 DTE. It's opening range for the day. It's trend for the day. So your expiration would be 0 DTE, so a today expiration. You can do Friday or 2-3 days out. You can go out 2 months. It just depends on your capital. Now, when you're speaking of options, the farther out of the time you go, the better the Greeks are. So while this is meant for a 0 DTE, you can easily go a week or two to get the better Greeks, better delta, better gamma, and better theta, right? So if you do spend more on those premiums to go farther away, you will actually be able to get a bit more money per dollar move and have less theta eating away your premiums versus a 0 DTE like you would do on, SPY or QQQ, because those thetas are going to be very, very high. I was playing, it was Tesla. When was that? Monday? Yeah, it was Monday, I believe I was playing Tesla 0TTE, so it was a today expiration. Theta was over $1,000. $1,000 Theta is going to be ripping apart your premiums every minute at that point, especially as you head toward afternoon. It was nuts. It's like I saw the stock was moving, but I couldn't. The premium wasn't doing anything because Theta was just whacking that thing away. So yeah, Theta is one to watch when you're doing 0DTEs for sure. So in this range right here, we broke down, we opened a short, it fell. The whole candle, and now it's possibly moving back up. So now someone's asked, where do you take profit on these things? You know, you do orb, at what level? You know, that's going to depend on you, what you're seeing. So we broke down here at 390.65, so you could choose a 390 put, and then it rode it all the way down to roughly 386. So that's like a $3.50 move. That's not bad. I mean, Tesla can definitely do more, right? I mean, we've seen it go $15, $16 in a day. So you can hold this for as long as you want. If you had multiple contracts, let's say you had 3 contracts, I would have sold 1 or 2 off at the bottom of this candle and this candle here, probably. I've got 1 contract, so I'm not looking to sell it yet. I want to hold this thing and to see how far it goes. So right now I'm at $46 profit at $86 percent. $86% profit, $46. $51 now. I bought this yesterday, so the Greeks are a little off. Some of my premium got eaten up by Theta overnight, so it's unfortunate. If I opened it today, I would have been higher for sure. But I held it to just get something for the day. So you can see here that the stop loss is roughly 0.8 to 1, roughly in there. And if you double that, I like to at least double the stop loss ratio. So value, so it says stop 0.87. Let's just consider it 1. So I would go to a 1 to 2 ratio. Now this one, 2 would have been right here, just below these wicks. And while you can do that with Tesla, especially, it moves a lot. So I would definitely try to at least target a 4. And 4 would be right here, just inside this green candle, these little small ones. Now Mo likes to, I forgot the name he calls it, but it's when the stock, in this case, goes down, over, and then down again. You have like almost like an H shape on it. It's definitely a strong bearish movement. Same thing with bulls. So it goes up, over, then up again. The next several candles likely will be rising. Now it doesn't mean it's going to hold very long, but it's going to keep rising, in this case falling, when you have that sideways consolidation. So just a little hint on that. So if you were riding this thing down at any point in time right here, you could take profits at any point in time. But I like to do a 1 to 2 ratio at least for a minimum, and then go from there. All right, so let's refresh. So orb, opening range breakout, 15-minute time frame. Mark the top and bottom of the opening candle, wicks included. Move to a 5-minute, and then track where it's going. We had a little bit of breakdown. This green candle would have been confirmation, but it's green, so why would you put a put on a green candle, right? That's a little risky. This one was green, but it broke. So we could suggest we're moving up into the channel again. This one was red, but it broke because it's on the line. This one, well, I'll make it bigger for you. This one here broke the line with the wick, so nope, doesn't count. This one does not have a wick on inside the line. It's close. If you look at that, it's close to the line. It's not in the line. So that's our first confirmation bearish candle. We open up short somewhere in there, or at least the next one. but you'll lose out on some profit if you wait too long. But it is less risky to wait to see what the next candle is going to do, obviously. And then we move down and watch it flow and see where it's going to go. So that's pretty much it. That's orb, and follow it from there. If this thing keeps dropping, then great, you're just in the money, you know. 5-minute candle. If you want to see a little bit better of a confirmation, you can move to a 3-minute, 2-minute, something like that. And you can see more of it here, where they're more just like really floating that line until it finally crashes. Now, I've been taught this a while back, and it's worked very well. I always get this wrong. It's a really easy phrase. In this case, a failed bullish movement is a strong bearish movement. So they're opposites. So what does that mean? This candle tried pushing up several times. Boom, 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 boom. But it failed. So a strong bearish movement is seen after a failed bullish movement. So bulls tried pushing, and finally gave up, failed. Therefore, you have a strong bearish movement. Same principle would happen if you had on the top side. If you had candles coming up, but then bouncing, bam, 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 along that line, same idea. A failed bearish movement would be a strong bullish movement. And at some point, likely, you'll see this bounce and it will start flying up to the top end. All of these colors up here, guys, this is just the Fibonacci. All right, it's a Fibonacci off of a low over here from yesterday. Just so you're aware, that's what all those colors are. So yeah, so think about that next time you guys are trying to figure out what to do next. So I have an expiration of today. I can already tell Theta's eaten this alive. I should be much higher in premium at $47. I should be at least $100 right now, because I already had this before breaking down. So the fact that this is falling and my premiums are not rising is showing that Theta is eating this thing away. I might as well just close it. So I'm at $42 with this green candle, unfortunately, and I'm just going to take it right now. There's no reason to keep holding this thing and then having Theta take all the premiums. So it would have been a nice run if you had opened it right here and ran down it, but because I already held it from yesterday, Theta was taking some away. But that's all right. Green is green. It's just not as green, but looks like oil's rising again, of course. Man, I opened up a 146 put on USO in April, and the Greeks keep changing on me, and it's really frustrating. The 146 put, and the stock is at 133. So you'd think you'd get this nice run of money and then just hold it. Well, options are strange that way. It doesn't always work that way when it comes to Greeks. Bid and ask spread changes. So I opened up a bid at, or I should say ask. I bought it ask at like, $22 or a premium, so $2,200. And then after about a month, the ask then changes to $2,100. So I automatically lose $100 right there. That's just because the thing's shifted. Nothing to do with the stock. So it's very frustrating. I was at $800 at one point, and it went down to, well, negative as it rose. Then it went positive again. Yesterday I closed it at, or not closed, the day closed at 450, and now it's at 262 just because the stock went up a few dollars, but also the bid ask range shifted again. Super frustrating. Crypto B, welcome. Hey, Pinky Nate. Your name's crazy. Sensei Gaming. Thoughts on SPY? Sorry, Jonathan, didn't mean to ignore you. What's up, good sir? What's up? Yeah, we just did puts too. I held a put overnight from yesterday, and I was just explaining how I was expiring today, so my theta was really high, It was at 500. So even though I held a put the entire time, it should be at well over $100. It was only 50 something bucks because Theta kept taking it away as we were waiting. So even in this move here was beautiful and perfect, and I was in the put already. Right here at this green candle, it was still $55 instead of 100 something per contract. So Theta is one to watch because you'll be like, oh yeah, it's going in my favor, but why is my profit not going up? Theta, likely. Working the margin account. Yep. Me too, man. This margin stuff's crazy. It's crazy. The fact that you can open options, make profit, sell it, get the profit and premium back, and then recycle those funds to play more in the same moment. I mean, we've never had that. I mean, you have it if you want to do a violation, trade aid violation, but yeah, that's crazy. It's you can overtrade for sure though. I know a few people are like they're kind of will DM me and they'll be like, why aren't you doing more? Why aren't you doing more? You have all this funds. Because you can easily overtrade, especially if it's not working for you, if it's bouncing around and you keep reversing it, and then you're just chasing. So that can get scary and emotional, so you can definitely overtrade on the zero or the no day trade violation rule. So be careful with that one. But yeah, Tesla with Orb, to be honest, lately at least, and tell me if you see something different, but it seems like Tesla with Orb is really strong. It tends to really it just works out very, very well. I mean, look at this. I closed mine already because of Theta, but if you opened it right here and you let it run, you're doing great. A 390 put, 385, you're a $5 move, and it's still working for you. Staying disciplined, yeah. When it comes to the freedom now, you still have to have rules. I mean, you can't be just throwing that money around everywhere because, you take $10 losses. Well, that's a $100 loss, right? So you have to now make up the $10 premium profits just to zero the $10 losses you've done 10 trades ago, right? So you think, oh, $10 loss, all right, no big deal. I'll just cut this one. I'll use those funds to reverse it or a different stock. All of a sudden, after the whole day's gone by and you've been just casinoing this thing, flopping it back and forth, you may not be up that high depending on what you were playing. So you really got to be careful with it for sure. Let's see. Jonathan said, SPY. Yeah, sorry, I was opening this. So you can do Orb on SPY. It's a little more iffy because this thing's such a monster, and it's an ETF of a large piece of the market, right? So it's going to run a little more differently than individual stocks. You can use it for a guideline. I would definitely be nervous using it to truly trade on and rely on, unlike I would do for, say, Tesla. I would rely on Orb with Tesla, Microsoft, any other single stock, at least ones that move well. You can do it for Walmart and those others, but they just don't move a lot, so it's harder. But for SPY, you can do it. It's just not going to be as predictive. What I would do for SPY in this one is just like what it did here. It went all the way up, started a breakout, failed. So because this thing can move a lot, I would play the Orb channel and have the Orb line failure become my stop loss for puts through the channel. So this, what I'm going to talk about now with Orb is a bit more advanced. Take the top and bottom Orb line numbers, so 736 and 731, average them together, and then drop a midline point. So let's say 36 and 1, 5, 2.5, So 1, 2, 350, roughly with the pennies. We'll go right there. And then we'll make it white. Whoops, white, not red. I like white for the midline only because it's just a nice contrast to any other color and the background of I do dark view. So then what I would do, once you have the midline cast and you see it falling, especially with Mo's recipe here, we have a 5 under 13, we have the EMAs dropping, we have red volume, we have MACD falling, much more of a like, all right, I'm confident in this. This is going to fall for a little bit, at least to the midline. You could have opened up a short in here. Oh, where is it? At the convergence of the 5 and 13, somewhere in here, open a short. And I would definitely target a tight stop loss right at or near the orb line. And then target at least just beyond midline of the orb channel. Something like this. That's what I would do in this scenario. So, and any stock that's moving like this, you have an orb channel on that's at least more than $3 or $4. You could do the same thing for those two. There's no like rule that you have to just do the midline on SPY or something. And a lot of times you'll see the stock come down and float that midline and either drop farther or float that and then go back up again. So it's kind of funny. Tesla trading a $100 long-term channel. Yeah, it's got a large range in daily, right? So it's going to go like down to the bottom on Monday, and by Friday it might be up the top, and then by next Wednesday back to the bottom, right? So yeah, there was a time for Tesla, was it a month ago? It literally stayed in just a perfect down-sloping channel for like 3 weeks. It was just super predictable. Bang, 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 bang. It was so easy to play orb on Tesla during that time. All right, so as we can see here, we broke into the channel, started consolidating on the midline, it then broke down further. So now we can target the downside. If you can hold those puts, open up new puts. Or sell those, open new ones, whatever you want to do. Wait for confirmation. Are we going to bounce to this line and get back into the channel, or are we going to fail this line and continue falling? So to Jonathan's question, SPY for the day, I still think we sell off most of the market today. It's all gaining funds for Friday. That's what my take is on the entire market. Look at Tesla, same thing. I think all of it is going to just start selling off until Thursday. And either Thursday is going to be a flat day, it's going to either have a slight rise, getting prepared and excited for, oops, almost knocked my coffee over, prepared and excited for Friday, or it's going to be a major sell-off. That last-ditch effort to get any more money compiled for Friday. It's hard. I'm not very bullish on Thursday. I feel like it's just going to be a flat to bearish red all week until Friday. Friday is going to be just nuts. I'm not sure about Friday either. Is it going to be actually a major overall market bullish day where everything's just going nuts because we sold off so far? And everybody's buying everything? Or is it only going to be certain stocks that go up and the rest of them are going to be all red because they're not part of space or technology? Are metals going to fall, oil going to rise, and commodities, consumables going to fall? Like I'm not sure how this is going to go. I'm kind of torn on which way market's going to go on Friday. So I don't know. All right, guys, what do you want to look at? It's 9:13. Well, my time. We have roughly 20 minutes. Anything else out there to view? I looked at it this morning. So far, it's the 12th. Friday. Yeah, that's. Yeah, Nate says he thought something about pushing back the date. No. I just see the 12th on all the IPO, schedules. Let's see, anything else out there? Oh, Cracker Barrel. Is that Cracker Barrel? What is this one? It is Cracker Barrel. Cracker Barrel had a $9 run this morning. What? Here we go. More confirmation. 13 under 50 on the SPY. Looking like that's going to keep falling. Tesla's still falling. Why is Cracker Barrel running? Oh, they had earnings this morning? Okay, they must have had earnings. Oh, Nvidia. Yikes. Like I said, I think we're going to go into a sell-off afternoon here. Mid-morning afternoon, so be ready for puts. That's not it. Look at this. Dang, boy. Look at this. Rise, overbought, rise, overbought. So Cracker Barrel's done like nothing since their whole, I don't know what you want to call it, refreshment of their sign and decor, which got people PO'd because that's not what they want. They look at Cracker Barrel for what it was, not a modern eatery. So still hasn't recovered. It fell. Yeah, around this time is when it happened. No, it was more around Christmas. Yeah, 24. Oh, it's doubled since then. Wow. All right. Well, people must like it again and kind of let the thing go. It's pretty nice, and it's got nice upside. I mean, historically speaking. Haha, look at that. It hit that giant selling order block and rejected. That's funny. I love the volumized fair value gap tool. It just so helps when you view resistance and supports. It's just so easy. Look at that. It literally tapped into it and rejected. It's such an easy tool to use. I flippin' love it. Look at this. So if you can break through this one, this will be your next resistance right here at 55. Psst. Psst. Get this on your thing and play with it. I love it. CCI, Commodity Channel Index, is a very sensitive RSI compared to normal RSI, and then volumized fair value gap by Flux Charts. It's free, part of your subscription here to TradingView, and it just helps really show those support and resistances. It's just so nice. News delay on your phone. I mean, I haven't seen anything change, man. That doesn't mean it's not. I would be I would be shocked that they would move it, be moving up like as if like Thursday. I would be really surprised, but nothing is common sensical anymore. So I mean, yeah. Anyways, Cracker Barrel definitely found a bottom here. We're late to the party for sure. Should have came in here at $30, $33 after this 50 was confirmed. But dang, 33 to 45, 46. Yeah, $10 move, $13 move right there on 100 shares. Whoa, buddy, that'd be nice. Or some calls, some long-term calls. It's gonna pull down. It's overbought. It's too high. It'll pull down again. And honestly, it's an earnings bump, so it'll probably sell off a little bit. I'm guessing it's gonna come back to somewhere in this spot. I'm thinking 40. If it hits 40, I might be looking at some time like a long-term 6-month call or so. At least, we'll do 3 months, at least to the next earnings. I won't want to hold past next earnings, but through summertime, that would be pretty good. So if we hit back to 40, 38 to 40 on Cracker Barrel here, I might want to do a few like 6 to 8 week calls potentially. What are those costing? Let's go to September. When is earnings? Oh, it's over here. Duh. September 22nd. Okay, so there's a September 18th option here, and there's only two options for calls because this thing has been so low. They don't even have any available above it. $50 is the highest strike you can get. That's funny. Tons. There's lots of put side. So there's definitely strength though. 127 is volume for the upside for September. There's only one strike for July, a few for June. That's funny how that works. Pretty cheap too. July 17th is around 350. And then September's is for the next strike up is around 500. I mean, and wait till tomorrow because right now it's high for the IV is high, which pushes premiums. So yeah. Anyways, Cracker Barrel might be one to keep an eye on potentially. Another one that you guys should watch because it's crapped out. Photronics. I think it's just emotional. I think it's just oversold unnecessarily. Earnings wasn't as good as it should have been, I guess, and so they freaked out. Went from $55 and has tanked all the way down to $29. I don't see any reason why it should be that low. So just keep this one on your list. I'm guessing it's probably going to get back down here to about $26 before it flattens back out again. And then something will happen, something great for next earnings, and they'll pop it back up again. Just keep an eye on it. The volume order block, it's called a volumized FVG, fair value gap, by Flux Chart. It's just a free tool. It's in the indicators side. I've got a bunch of different things I play with. I mean, I always use Mo's bread recipe for all of my main charting. There's no reason not to. It's awesome. I love it. But yeah, volumized FVG, and that gives you a nice just visual on resistance and support levels. That's all. So when you're playing with this week, yeah. Fair value gaps are weird. Like people will crap all over fair value gaps like they're nothing. And it's helped you this week. Yeah, I think they're Now, I don't rely on them. Like there's one here on PLab right here. This one is obviously pretty strong, right? 2 million buys at this level to raise this thing up. So this thing was super, super strong. So at the very, very, very least, I would imagine this is going to be a really strong support. Sorry. Go away. $22 level support here for PLab if we can break down underneath $24 strike. So somewhere in there, it's going to bounce because that thing is so strong. If you didn't have that, right? If we just turn that off, it's just bare. It's just you have to know to look over here and analyze this clump of candles to see what it might be doing. It's just, why make your life harder when we have tools and indicators that can help us just make things a bit more easy, right? Like this one in here, this big block in here became support. Now it did break down a little bit, but it held this level and then rose again. So that's another just, it's a guide. They're guides. They're not all perfect, but it's just, it guides you to where it might be. Now I'm sure Tesla will have one of them. Do I have it turned on? No, I don't. Let's turn on Mo's and FEGs. There. Here's one. Okay. So you can see this wick. I'm going to close this box out. This wick, green candle, wicked up and tapped the bottom of that box perfectly. Right there. Tapped it, rejected, fell. Right on that fair value gap. So if without that box there, you could go, oh, why did that candle reach a certain height? It reached that height because it already had a resistance right there. Why did this level reach a certain height and not go higher? Resistance is right here. I mean, I'm not making this up. It's right there, right? It's not. It is what it is. All good if not, we got it on TradingView. Huh? All good if not, we got it on TradingView. I mean, yeah, this is TradingView, but there's fair value. There's a lot of fair value gap tools and other platforms, and there's actually a lot of fair value gap indicators on TradingView. We have algo, flux algo is another one. There's a whole bunch. I like the volumized because it shows you buyers and sellers of that FVG. So you see this is mostly red. So it's going to tap this and likely sell off again. It's pretty cool. Other ones that are green, like in this scenario over here, way far back here. No, actually it goes farther. Yeah, here it is. Sorry, I make you all dizzy. So this one was split for a while, but then obviously we see the green take over. Strong buys in this FVG, and then boom, explosive top, right? So I like the volumized because it just really shows you what's happening with buyers and sellers at that point. So I think it's kind of cool. Oh, sorry. Oh, I didn't see that last one. I'm sorry. Mo adding something like this to the Breadbot 2.0. He has not mentioned anything like that. I mean, he'd have to create his own script for something like that to then sell access with the red recipe, where these are just already in TradingView, right? Like you said, we already got them in TradingView. So anybody can ride with, RSI, MACD, CCI, Fibonacci, FVG tools. Anybody can ride with those. You don't have to be Earner Plus to get anything like that. You'll just need to pay the subscription for so many indicators, right? But beyond that, so I think because there's so many tools like that already out there, and creating a script to run things like that is very intense. I would doubt that he's going to do something like that, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure what they've got planned. Look at this. Candle came down, wicked inside this FVG, and bounced. It's just such a nice little tool to have to help you with Mo's recipe and everything else. It's just wonderful, because like this thing indicated more downside, but it bounced in there, right? Like, and it still could fall. There's no guarantee it won't try for bullish and then fail off this line and then will break down through this. But it's nice to see those boxes and be like, oh, hey, this is coming up. We should be careful. Or at least if you had, let's say you had puts from this point down, right? And you go, I don't know where to take my profit at. Like, I know we're breaking down here. Where should I take my profit at? I don't know. But you see this block, you go, you know what? I'm going to target the block because it might bounce on that block and I just want to keep it. Well, here you go. It did. Broke down, bounced on the block. You could have grabbed profit right there in that candle. Right? So anyways, they're just fun, fun indicators to add to a visual, just to give you some suggestions. And like here's one up here, 738.87. So my guess is we're going to bounce off this line and we're going to climb again. And I'm going to place the long and I'm going to target right there. Let's just see if I'm right. Anyway, anything else out there to do? Check the SPY on this. There's an order block at 728. Did I just 728 down below? Oh, also, these they will change based on your time charts because fair value gaps or gaps are based on a candle structure. So it's a candle that's opened in between two other candles. So we have a candle here, and then you have one more lower, but it's in between the finishing of that candle and the start of the next candle. That's what it actually is. So look up FVGs with the chart. You'll see it online. Very, very easy to follow. But that will change your order boxes here, like this one right there, this big green one. That's going to change if you move to a 10-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute. They're going to move all around because they're based on candle structure, not necessarily volume. That's one thing I need to add to you. So if I go to a 15-minute window here, that green one now has changed size. It's not so skinny, right? And now this one's changed. That one's different because the candle structure of this area is different. Okay, so 30 minutes. Oh, that wasn't there before. Now that's there now. So you can look at a certain area of your chart and change time frames and see where those blocks might be, right? So now we're on the 30-minute. We still have a 5 under 13 looking bearish. So my call, I'm not in anything, but I'm just saying my call up here isn't looking very hot. But as you can see, I was targeting that block. But look, on the 30-minute, there is no block. It's not there. Yeah. The likelihood it's going to go down versus up. You're right, Crypto B. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And EMAs, everything's showing downside. So, yeah. And it's funny, I put that to target that one block, but the block doesn't exist on a larger time frame. which means that the larger time frame, more volume in that time frame, right? There's more buying and selling happening in that 30 minutes. Likely is not a real strong thing to do. So we'll go to a 15 minute, and there it is again. But it's thin. It's not, it's old too. It's strong. It's a strong sell point, but it goes way back as resistance. But obviously, market's not really caring about big things up there. I still think this one down here would be a strong one for would you say 728? Oh, that's the one. That's what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. Roughly, well, let's go with that. So anyways, that's it, guys. I'm not sure what else to talk about. We can just, do this all day long in various charts, but I'm not really playing anything today. It's just nothing is out there. There's been days I just don't play anything. I don't risk it. Maybe the afternoon, I might throw some stuff at, IWM or QQQ. Depends on the setups. But yeah, there's just nothing really super set up today after this morning that, I'm loving. Here's one that showed up on the 3 minutes. Yeah, it's hard. The smaller time frames, they make it's more tough to do things on small time frames because it's so quick, right? That things can change really quickly in here. But this is setting up to be a resistance. You can see them kind of hitting and just tapping down. So, they do work. It's just weak. It just needs one good pop of volume to push through that for low time frames. And then you go to 5 minute and it's gone. See? And you keep adding time frames, and then you might find one that all of a sudden pops up that wasn't there before. Right there. There you go. See? So the value gap is because it's this wick there to this wick there. This is a perfect example. This wick here to this wick here. Do you see that? That wick and this wick. And then that's the gap. These white bars. Do you see that? That's what a fair value gap is. It's the section of a candle or a structure that's in between a wick or body of the prior and the next. That's your gap. So that means that you have either buying or resisting, or I'm sorry, buying or selling, support or resisting within that block. It just depends on what side of the chart we're on. Yeah, pending orders. Yeah, there's a few ways to look at it. But as you can see with this one, it's split 52% buying and selling. So likely because of what this week is, it's going to act as a resistance. On a 30-minute time frame, it's going to be pretty strong. And then we can see right here, these two wicks keep just bouncing right off that exact point. So, it's like we could just have one indicator and do very well. You can do great on just one thing. And the more you add, it can get distracting and tiresome, and maybe you don't want to add a lot of stuff. But it's hard-earned money, right? We're not hedge funds. We don't have millions to work with and blow, and we're not insured, and we're probably playing with a few $100, and you don't want to be throwing that around and hope that things are going to work out for you. So to me, if you can add tools and indicators, orb strategies, Mo's recipe, obviously, because it's just a gigantic indicator all blended into one, and then you work it all together, it makes it so much nicer, right? We have MACD volume kind of getting red, CCI kind of, it's working its way up. It's trying to push up. but that block is there. If you didn't have that there, you wouldn't understand why it's stalled, right? If we move this white line, let's pretend, right? You'd be like, what makes the candle stop at that exact point every time? Why is it doing that? Oh, because if you understood fair value gaps, you could see that these two created that gap, and that's why it's having a hard time pushing up into that gap. Now, not always. You can have it push into it, but not actually get through it. I've seen that happen before. It wicks a little bit in and falls, or wicks down into it and rises, right? So, and they're not guarantees. You know, any sort of news or volume can easily push through those gaps. I mean, obviously, that's how the stock market moves. These gaps here are not required rejections. It's just they're points of resistance or support to be monitored, just in case that they act the way that they can act, and it helps you know when to target entry or exit. That's my point of view. Or struggle zones. You know, if a SPY is falling and we're struggling to get a certain point, why are we struggling to get down to a certain point? Well, maybe we're in a gap and it doesn't know what to do, right? It's struggling. So that's probably all I got for you guys right now. I don't know unless somebody else wants to throw a ticker out here to go look at. We don't, have much else to really cover. Iran's still messing around, so oil keeps rising and up and down, up and down. Oh, I'm back up again in my put, so that's nice. My USO put. Not enough to be fun, though. Most markets selling off, but to a point, and then it's sold off a bit, and then now it's just choppy. I'm looking at my watch list. There's not much here to talk about. Ooh, fun fact, folks. I'm going to leave that up there because I'm curious to see what that happens. Look at this guy. Those of you that know me know I love my elf. Look at this. Look at this. We can look at NVIDIA. Yep. May have found a bottom. Double bottom right here. 1, 2. So we'll see. Funny, ELF is hitting this fair value gap right now. We'll see if it stalls out or rejects. We'll see. Hopefully not a double top. I do have a trend line drawn, this pink trend line right here, that obviously it has just reached. I don't know where it comes from. Oh, but way back there. Okay. So it just reached that trend line on top of also hitting a fair value gap. Double iffy. And it's the top of Fibonacci. That's like a trifecta. Jeepers. Top of the Fibonacci, hit the trend line, and tapping into the fair value gap. My guess is it's probably going to be stuck there rest of the day. That's a lot to overcome. But ironic, though, that it actually has worked. The Fibonacci worked perfectly from the prior. I drew this from the prior down, and it's worked beautifully to come back up. So ELF might be doing something. Finally, we'll see. Just want to show you guys that. I have 20 shares, so at a 56 price point. So we'll see if that thing can flow nicely. NVIDIA. Okay, so these white lines are prior orb. We can just take those out. You can see when I do orb, because all of these are orb lines. Take that one out. Oh, it's funny. This green one actually is where it tapped. Even though it's a prior orb line. Look at that. Interesting. Almost acts as a Fibonacci, huh? Let's see. We could have done orb on today. Let's see how it works. Let me optimize this real quick. Hold on. $15-minute time frame. Horizontal array. Where's the wick? There it is. 5 minutes. There's downside. So this candle would not be a confirmation candle because the wick broke the line, right? We can make it, well, we'll just keep it white. White generally I use for the midline, like I told you before, but we can just keep it. We shouldn't. You're right, we shouldn't. We'll go orange. So this was broken by the wick, so we can't say that's a confirmation candle for downside, even though the EMAs are falling hard. You can risk it. You know, you can go ahead and risk a put in there, even though it's not confirmed, but everything else is showing that's falling. You could risk it. This one is confirmed, so we could have gone for a short right here, somewhere in this candle. Targeted orb line for a $1 move, and then 1 to 2. Roughly somewhere in there. Now this candle almost hit the 2 mark. It didn't exactly hit it, but it was close. So if we opened a put somewhere in there, in this area, we would have grabbed a 1 to 2 ratio risk reward ratio, and the put, let's see, a 203 put, 265, 203.65, and 201.65, $3 move, $3. So if you had a $3 move times 2 contracts, that's $6 at, I don't know, $50 a share. That's a very nice, or not a share, I'm sorry, $50 per contract, and you had 2 puts. That's a very nice move. Orb would have definitely helped you out here. Grab that $50 per dollar move. My goodness, per contract down, sold somewhere in here. You're good to go. Done. That would have been a very, very easy move. Lots of confidence. Lots of red candles. MACD is, I'm not going to optimize it, but it was showing red. CCI is down in the dumps right here. Easily showing you it's going down. Would have been easy. Mo's indicator here showing you the 1350, a strong fall right there with the orb. You have 1350, you have all the other indicators showing it's going down. You have red volume, and you have the nice big red diamond. That would have been a very easy one to do. As far as, are you asking, like, you know, long term, what, like for NVIDIA now? Well, as we've been talking about, it jumped into this gap here, and it's bounced for now. Doesn't mean it's going to keep going. I still am holding to this rest of this week is because it's going to be a bunch of choppy red, mostly red rest of the week, waiting for Friday. So that's my take on things. It's so weird how this thing's not done much, to be honest, like for such a long time. I mean, 230, but even 230 from where are we at now today? 203. I mean, yeah, that's a nasty drop, but if you compare NVIDIA to any other tech stock out there, it's not doing anything in comparison. It's almost like buyers are just kind of over it. They're over the old news of NVIDIA, and they'd rather go with something else, you know? I know they're making great stuff, and they've got great partnerships, but it's like the market just doesn't want it right now. It wants other stuff. NVIDIA's own CEO called out Qualcomm as one of the major players in space communications. So it's like he's pushing partnerships, but also then calling out other companies for investors to go, oh, really? And then they run over there. He did that with Marvell. Marvell's the next $1 trillion company. And then it jumped $30 a share instantly just because he said so. So it's pretty crazy. Oh, there we go. I had said downside. Yep. There it goes. Yep. 15 minutes. It's a pretty long time frame. But yeah, so NVIDIA, I don't know. I'm so torn on if it's going to do much anytime soon. I don't really know. We have to get past all these giant IPOs. We have SpaceX on Friday. We have the potentials for Anthropic and OpenAI coming up after that. Those are huge. I personally, if you're going to put money into anything, I would suggest more of the players that are working with these new IPOs. I think they're just taking all the focus right now. They're taking all the capital from other companies at the moment. So instead of doing NVIDIA, you do Google because they've got Anthropic already. They've got Gemini, YouTube. They have already purchased and been in 6%, I think, of SpaceX private equity. They're already in it, So here's one to explain to you in the 5-minute level. It resisted to fall, but it finally fell. It hit in here, and it's wicking off that box perfectly. I mean, it's sell pressure, so it's gonna fall through them. But it's funny how it stalled for a second. If we break down below that though, that's gonna get ugly. Those are the next two lines on Google. Anyway, I think that's it, guys. Gone a little bit over my time, and I don't want to keep doing these 2-hour days. Especially we're just doing some teachings. We're not doing any trading. But I'll let you guys go so you can go trade and catch some of this downside. Maybe I'll jump into something for a 0 DTE play on here. But for now, it's probably just going to be all downside stuff. Rest of the week. Look at that. Yeah. Just sell off till Friday. Just hold on to your butts, as that guy from Jurassic Park says. And watch for SPY at Crypto B there. And I said a 728 might be a bounce. If it's enough pressure, though, it's going to blow right through that. So 728 to 726-ish. Somewhere in there could be a resistance area. Or I should say support area to resist the fall any further. Depends on sell pressure. So yeah. But yeah, if you're in this from midline, that's a pretty nice range. Almost $6. Now, if this was 0 DTE, you really couldn't have sat there the entire time. You're talking 8:45. It's an hour. That's a very long time for a 0 DTE on SPY. You'll have theta eating that thing away real quick. But you could have done the puts off of or breakdown right here. From midline with this candle. Could have done that. So you can kind of split up the orb into different sections. Just play with it and make it your own too. Orb is not, like I said, it's a guideline. It's a strategy. So play with it. If it's working for you and you've tested it and you're like, hey, you know what? Midline is the new top end of orb line. Okay, go with it. And not every stock is going to run beautifully with orb. And not every day will run with the same stock with orb. Tesla tends to do it because it's just the way that it rolls. But not all of them do. So All right, is there anything else? Anything further? I'll give you guys a minute to comment if you're gonna on the lag here. There's a little bit of a lag, about roughly 8-second lag between my live and what you see. So nothing out there. I see the volume of people dropping off, viewers here, so we'll probably be out of here soon. But yeah, let's look over here at the chat, see if anything's popping up. SPCX IPO. Yeah, that's... Oh, man. Benjamin, let's see. Cool. Yeah, membership, I think is the code still working for the discount? Let me go get a link and try it. I thought we still have a code for the monthly. Here it is. Let me just give it a shot. I'm gonna pop it into my browser really fast and see if I know you guys can't see it, but let me just check and see if a code will work that we used to use. Oh, it does. Okay, yeah. All right, so code Mo is still active. I thought it had expired, but I guess not. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna put that in the chat then, because obviously it's still working. Where's my box? There it is. All right, so here's my affiliate link for everybody. Code Mo still takes 40% off. So yeah, I thought that ended, but I guess I'm wrong. It normally is $163 a month for monthly access to the Discord for Earner Plus, but Mo, oops, sorry, tap my microphone here. Mo takes off 40%. Yeah, I just checked it. I just double checked it. So that is a monthly link. If you guys want annual, lifetime, there's lifetime with payment plans per month as well, and you get access to it right away. I mean, if you guys are already in Earner Plus right now, obviously you're seeing this, but you're seeing this already. But if you are monthly or annual and you want to change it up to lifetime or whatever you want to do, we have various links. So they are affiliate links. So people that are handing out their links is because we're trying to get a little bit of an income back. We're all volunteers here at the Discord. We don't get paid hourly or salary, nothing like that. So it helps us out. So it's a small little kickback that Mo does for us. Look at that. That's funny. Hit that FVG and whee. And so yeah, if you guys are going to upgrade, or if you guys want access to his courses, we keep forgetting that he actually has courses. He sells several courses. We also have a discount code and affiliate link for those as well. $400 off the advertised price. So about $280 a share 280 a course for the courses or bundles. I think the bundle is like $490 or something like that with the code, but it's $400 off with the price you see. So I think with that, with only 5 of us left on here, probably less than that. I think I've got 3. So yeah, I'm not sure what else to say. It's gonna be choppy rest of the day, it seems like, until later. So I'll be back on next Wednesday. So not Monday coming up, but next Wednesday I'll be back. And I'm just erasing all my stuff so that I leave things on. I get confused later. I'm like, what is that line from? So, oh, hello, Pink Trades. Sure, APLD. You been on the whole time? When did you pop on? Let's see. Apply digital. All right, let's go a little bit farther time frame and see what it looks like. Oh, interesting. $46. So roughly a $6 move to the upside from prior highs. Go older. We have a nice rounded top at roughly $50. All right. I mean, that's some nice upside for sure. Almost a triple bottom here, kind of. Double right now for sure. Do you see that? You have kind of a 1-2 double bottom right there. Sort of 3, which is all bearish movements. Sorry. Bearish, I'm sorry, bullish. 3, a double or triple bottom would be a bullish movement. So potentially it's gonna could bounce soon. With this IPO is throwing everything off, so it's super hard to tell. I would say the next support level is looking at roughly right there, somewhere around $40. Between 40 and 38, somewhere in there. It could be a good re-entry level. It could be. It's definitely not confirmed that it is. You know, obviously we still have all of the EMAs falling. We have red volume still kind of popping up. We have MACD still kind of trailing south. It's definitely, I mean, if you're doing shares, you could definitely, you know, jump in here, hold some red, DCA a little bit down. How much farther could it drop? I mean, we have prior wicks all the way down to 38, and even worse, down to 36. Here's a support right there as well. So somewhere in here at 36.50, 75 could be a low point as well. So there's these 3 lines are my suspected levels of support. Oh my goodness. Sorry. So for APLD, if it keeps falling, potentially reversing at low 39s, low 38s, and then around 36, 37. Those are kind of my 3 potentials of where it might fall to. Actually, I like this one with this block there. Yeah. Yep. So, So those are my 3 lines. I hope that helps a little bit with giving you some idea of what it might do. It could reverse any moment though, you know, with this IPO thing. So we could be, you know, the wicks did tap this line and push back up. So it may have been right here, and now it's going to start working its way back up, or it's going to be choppy up and down. You know, it's going to do like this. Till Friday. It's just hard to tell. With this IPO, it's thrown everything off. Sold yesterday. I hope you were in profit. That'd be great, right? If you were holding it from way over here, let's say, or earlier, you know. I know that hedge fund guy, Leopold something, a younger guy who's brilliant. He holds a lot of APLD. I don't think he's sold any yet, but he's purchased it, you know, back when it was cheaper too. So yeah, I think that's you know, we have a decent, yeah, you know, right there, and right there, all the same levels. So there's a good chance that it bounces here. Yeah. Now on the high side, yeah, I kind of like that one. And I'm not going to go with all of these fair value gaps as being a resistance. That seems a bit excessive. I do feel, though, that this one would be. You printed nice. Awesome. Good job. Good job. Yeah, your TA sounds good. I mean, you seems like you did well. So those are my lines. Those are my levels. You know, screenshot that, write that down quick. Something like this. For top side, 45, 44, 42. Those are probably guesstimates of where they might head to and have a resistance to get through. As it climbs back up again. As you can see here, this MACD is huge in the sell side. We have yet to see this positive action happen yet. It tried right here but failed. So it's coming. You know, we have a big green, which is this. We have a huge red, which is this, and then we have the sell or buyback, I should say, for MACD, which does not actually look like it's buying back at all in here because the stock fell. But MACD is not showing that. So I would say everything's just waiting for Friday. It might just sit right here at this line around the $38 mark all day tomorrow and then pop on Friday. Or completely fail on Friday and all the money goes to the IPO. But these are my lines. That's my take on APLD for top and bottom side, for suggestions for support and resistance right there. All right. I hope you all did well this week so far. I know I've been selling off bad, so you know my shares are down heavily too. But it is what it is. We've been way overbought for a long time, so it's about that time. But with this IPO coming, it's really hard to TA to draw out charts that are predictable without being 0 DTE. So yeah. All right, I'm out of here. Thanks so much, everybody. I appreciate you stopping by and chatting and whatnot. I'm going to see you all next Wednesday. I'm not on this coming Monday. So, yeah. See you all then. Have a great weekend. If I don't talk to you. Oh, D. Robinson. Hey, thanks for jumping on. Appreciate it. Been a while. And yeah, so we'll see you all next week. Good luck out there. And Friday is going to be wild. I'll see you all in the Discord. Feel free to tag me there if you have any questions or anything or well, whatever. And I think that's about it. I'm stalling to give everybody else a chance to say something, but there's no one. I think there's only a few people left, so we're gonna call it. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for stopping by. See you next week and see you in the Discord. Link for the code and monthly is in the chat. If you want more, ask, and I've got different codes for you, or different links for you. Sorry, same code. All right, thanks everybody. Bye. Testing sound. Music test. Music test. Hey Gerardo, if you're still on and I'm still live, yeah, if you can hear this, I'm gonna type it too. But yeah, you can use the code for use my link and code, and then what you do is you're gonna have to cancel the prior one. So what you do is just go into your Patreon or WAP, whatever it is that you used to come in. You're going to go ahead and cancel that one, and you're going to use the new one. That's all. Yeah, so not likely you will, because it's going to be a whole new subscription. So that's why it'll work. Yeah. Here, I'll come back on live just so you can see I'm still here. Yeah, so you would just cancel any prior memberships you have, and you're just going to go with the new link. So if you have monthly and you want to go with annual, or you want to go with lifetime, you would just use the new link and the new code, get that price point, and just cancel out anything else. So if that makes sense. So yeah, you just get rid of the old one, go with the new one, And I've got links for payment plans for lifetime. I've got links for the annual, and of course that link there is in the chat here is for monthly. So yeah, and I would appreciate if you can. I'm not gonna judge you or anything, but if you're gonna upgrade to or I would say downgrade really, because you're going from a higher price point to a low price point, but you're staying with monthly. It'd be great if you use my link. Then I get a small little kickback per month that you're staying with us, and I'll I try to aim for members that help me out. I help you out. So if you ask more questions and tag me, I will be more I'll give you more attention. Put it that way. So that kind of thing. I try to help out those that help me out. Only fair. So yes, if you want to change your price point, obviously, I don't know why you'd want to pay more if you don't have to. Use the link, use that code. It helps me out and it helps you out by getting you a better price point. Yeah. So, okay. I'm going to go back to the other screen, but I'll be here for another minute or two, just messing around with different sound. I do like a sound tech at the end. Didn't know you were still here. All right. But yeah, anything else, just let me know. Feel free to tag me in the chats too. Front end options is here, I'll tell you. There. Front end options is also my tag in the Discord as well as here. I kind of kept it all the same. So, all right. Yeah. So if anything else, let me know. Thanks.